Welcome to the Now. I'm Ashley.
I'm Mica.
Oh boy, it looks like these microtransaction controversies, they're hitting hard and quick.
Yeah.
It's like new stuff coming out every day. Now, there's another one, sort of, regarding the world's biggest video game publisher.
Yay!
Yay!
Well, gamers are always accusing video game companies of inventing new ways to nickel and dime them, and it looks like that's actually the case with Activision, who's just patented a super sneaky method of getting microtransactions from you.
Great.
And it even uses the matchmaking process to do it.
Neat. So this news comes from Rolling Stone's Glixel, which reported that Activision got a patent this month for a system for driving microtransactions in multiplayer video games, which basically is a method that the company uses to convince people to keep buying in-game items.
And once you hear the details about the system, it's pretty clear that gaming companies are using some really sophisticated and gross methods to get you to buy some stuff in their games.
So now, it's very important to note a couple of things right up front, because a lot of people are very upset about this today, with good reason. But there are also caveats, like Activision says this system was not implemented in any game, including Destiny 2, that's currently out. But again, it shows the microtransactions are a lot more insidious than anyone thought, and that there are a lot of publishers trying to figure out a lot of ways to maximize those as quickly as possible.
Okay, so here's the details about the patent, which was filed 2 years ago and was granted earlier this month. It involves how players are put together in multiplayer matches, and apparently, just based on how players are paired up can influence someone's buying behavior.
Yeah, the patent says in one implementation, the system may include a microtransaction engine that arranges matches to influence game-related purchases. For instance, the microtransaction engine may match a more expert or marquee player with a junior player to encourage the junior player to make game-related purchases of items possessed or used by the marquee player. A junior player may wish to emulate the marquee player by obtaining weapons or other items used by the marquee player.
Translation: wow, that player is really good. I want that gun they're using. And abracadabra, the game offers you that gun to buy after your match, and you pay to win.
Isn't that a nice service?
Lovely.
Based on your player profile, the technology might even be able to figure out what your ultimate goals are in a game.
Oh.
For instance, might determine that you want to become an expert sniper because you're the dude hogging the sniper rifle every round. So guess what? Game's gonna pair you with a highly skilled sniper to further encourage you to get that shiny new rifle you've had your eye on.
Oh, and you know, after you buy that weapon, the game might then adjust which matches you're placed in, so you can make the maximum use of your new toy. That way you feel happy with what you bought.
I like it!
And you might buy even more shiny new guns because you're too busy just murdering scrubs and you feel overpowered and you think, I need more now.
And then there's a guy on the other side of your sniper rifle going, man, I wish I had that sniper rifle.
And then
guess
the
what?
cycle repeats.
The game's gonna offer it to them.
Oh my god.
Specifically, the patent said, for example, if the player purchased a particular weapon, the microtransaction engine may match the player in a gameplay session in which the particular weapon is highly effective, giving the player an impression that the particular weapon was a good purchase. This may encourage the player to make future purchases to achieve similar gameplay results.
So translation, we make it overpowered so you feel special.
Yes.
Lovely. For their part, Activision told Glixel that the technology is not currently used in any games.
Yeah.
And Bungie, which has a publishing deal with Activision, said that the technology was not used in Destiny 2, so everybody put down your pulse rifles.
Right, well, Destiny 2, you can see someone being like, that is a sweet horned helmet, or like, those wings are pretty great, I'd like to get those wings. Currently, let's say with Destiny 2, there's not a way to just go buy someone's wings, so relax a little bit, but that doesn't mean it's not coming to Activision games in the future. Activision told Glixel this was an exploratory patent filed in 2015 by an R&D team working independently from our game studios. It has not been implemented in-game.
Ah, yes. Exploratory. We're just exploring ways to sneakily sell you more loot boxes. We're not actually doing it. Nothing to see. Don't kill us. We're fine. Just exploring.
Right. Well, meanwhile, in response to the whole patent story, Bungie community manager Deej immediately came out after all that started erupting, tweeted yesterday, none of this functionality appears in Destiny. So they want to be very clear about that.
Now, the patent only covers first-person shooters, but it's not hard to imagine this being applied to all kinds of competitive games.
It also means the developers are getting very technical in how they target players and use information about you and your play style and your play history in order to decide how they can get you to buy stuff. It sounds kind of similar to the way Google and other companies target internet advertising to you based on your search history, other factors, what sites you visited, other shopping carts you have around, stuff that follows you around the internet. Have you seen Rooster Teeth's merch in ads around the internet? They follow you. It's very sophisticated technology. We're watching. According to the patent, the process uses a lot of factors, including your skill level, your internet latency, and if any of your friends are online.
This is bound to spark criticism from players who are already up in arms about a number of loot box controversies lately. While loot boxes aren't new, they've definitely been popping up in more full-price games like Forza Motorsport 7, Middle-earth: Shadow of War, and NBA 2K18. And they're not all just harmless skins and costumes.
Although everyone loves the harmless skins and costumes,
Exactly.
That's generally considered the best practice for implementation.
Some loot boxes are now including weapon upgrades and other items that can affect your character power, all purchasable with real money, aka pay to win.
Yeah, and microtransactions have been an issue with Destiny 2 when that game launched as well. A lot of players have been upset that shaders, which were unlimited use items in the first game, are now a little bit harder to come by, or at least they are both, you have to use one and on each different piece of equipment you have in order to shade it, and they're now consumable. But they also just buy them with money.
Yeah. The issue has even come to the attention of a lawmaker in the UK who has asked the government if loot boxes need to be regulated as gambling.
Well, Activision filed this patent a few years ago, and they were just awarded it recently. The news is kind of breaking at a particularly touchy time when gamers are very sensitive about loot boxes and the ways that publishers are trying to monetize gamers beyond their initial purchases.
And while Activision says they're not currently implementing this technology in any games, that doesn't mean that they'll never do it. They did file for the patent after all.
Right, look, they've only just got it. Give them some time, guys.
Right, it also doesn't mean that they're not doing something similar right now. After all, a lot of Activision's biggest franchises have microtransactions, including Destiny and Call of Duty. So does Overwatch from Blizzard, which is a subsidiary of Activision, although that's all cosmetic.
Not that they would have to tell us if they did implement this system anyway, because as we've already discussed plenty of times over the past few weeks, none of this is regulated. They don't have to disclose anything.
It's not hard to see why companies do this. Gamers might not like loot boxes and microtransactions, but they make developers and publishers a crap ton of money.
A crap ton. A metric crap ton.
A metric crap ton, which is even bigger than a regular crap ton. Last year, Activision told investors that it made more than $3.6 billion with a B dollars in 2016 just from in-game content sales like Call of Duty points and Overwatch loot boxes. And executives said that they're still in the early days of in-game content sales and that more is coming.
Yay! So, end of the day, this is another sign that that whole tidal wave of loot boxes in full-price video games, the ongoing implementation of microtransactions in full AAA titles, doesn't show any signs of receding, and judging by the language in this patent, it's a lot more sophisticated than you might think.
So what do you think about Activision's patent regarding selling in-game items? Kinda shady or hella shady? Let us know in the comments.
And for all your video game news, be sure to like this video, and if you're new to this channel, subscribe to the know.
Hella shady.
Bet you wouldn't have thought about subscribing if we didn't tell you to subscribe, right? Yeah.
This is bound to speak?
Forza Motorsport 7. Yeah, Forza fans will not stand. Okay.
While loot boxes aren't new, they've definitely been popping up in more full-price games like Forza